So let's get started with a neck stretch today. So most people struggle with these niggles in the neck and the shoulders, and that can be from sitting at a desk all day, working on a computer. We tend to be in that kind of position like that. So what we're going to focus on is releasing and stretching of all of these muscles. And the great thing about what we'll do today is that you can do this at your desk at work. Sometimes even when I'm in the car and I'm at a traffic light, so I'll do one of the movements, the chin tucks. And one of the things you want to try and do with these little exercises is to try and find a way to incorporate it into your daily life rather than think of this as exercise. Just think of this as movement to help release all those icky bits that you have in your body. So let's get started. You can do this sitting in a chair, you can be sat down on the floor like me, you can even do it in standing, so it really doesn't matter. Just find a comfortable position where you can sit with your spine really tall. So we don't want to be slouching down like this, because one of the things we're going to be focusing on is fascia. And fascia is this connective tissue that's all over the body. And when it comes to stretching, the more length you can put in between like the head and your lower back, the more you're going to stretch off the fascia as well. And it's all connected. Just because we're focusing on shoulders doesn't mean we're not going to get some of the lower back as well. So to start with, let's just do some shoulder rolls. Excuse me. So bring your shoulders forward, take them up to your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades into your back, and then just let your shoulders shrug down. So just think of all that tension. And then bring it forward. Take the shoulders up. Squeeze the shoulders into the back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, shrug down. And we'll do one more. Bring it forward. Shoulders up. Squeeze it behind. Big breath in. And drop it down. Good. So we are going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. So find a point in front of you, whether you're looking at the camera, and just tilt your head over towards the left. So as you drop your head to the left, we don't want to collapse into the left side of the body. So the whole body still wants to be tall. So I like to think of the collarbones are going up, but the neck or the ear is just tilting to the side. So what we're working on now is these scalenes. We're giving them a nice big stretch. So it might not feel very comfortable. And if you do have any restriction in your neck, like tightness and stiffness or pain, just be aware that when you take your ear to the shoulder, that the opposite shoulder might want to lift up that right shoulder. So I really want you to focus on the space between the ear and the shoulder. You're trying to pull them away from each other. Like I said, and these are so good just to do at your desk. Like put a timer on your phone, once every couple of hours or once every hours. Because if you tend to suffer with headaches, it can be some of the neck muscles that cause that. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take the left hand and just very, very gently, just think of the weight of the hand rather than you yanking on your head, just to help that a little bit more. And if you want to go even further, reach your right hand away from you. And I like to take that hand back a little bit as well. So be aware that your gaze hasn't dropped down to there or up to the ceiling. You still want to be looking directly forward. And if you are using your hand, just be aware that that shoulder's not hiking up. I prefer just to keep my hand there. It's too much effort. I like easy and simple. And then bring the head up nice and gently. Just have a couple of shoulder rolls again. And now we're going to take right ear to right shoulder. And you may notice that there's a difference. So for me, I feel like I get quite stuck with this side. And it's quite normal and natural to have an imbalance because we don't do the same things on different sides all the time. So if you think your desk might be at an angle, or you might watch TV at an angle, or you might play golf at a certain angle, and all that is going to have an impact on muscle flexibility, muscle strength. And of course, you can take your right hand to the head and gently, gently, gently put a bit of weight into it, and then reach your left hand away. And then just start to walk the left hand back. Relax your right shoulder if you are using your hand up. And then think of this distance that we're trying to create between the ear and the shoulder. So your scalenes, which are these lots of muscles on the side of the neck, they attach around the ear and the jaw. They come down and they attach to various parts of the shoulder and the rib cage. Good. And then on the next breath in, just allow the head very gently to come back up again. And then just have a couple of shoulder rolls. So being very gentle as we go in and go out is often where people do get injuries because they just pull out of it really quickly. So just take your time, especially the neck. It's not quite a sensitive area. So now we're going to practice saying no. We all need to learn how to say no more with confidence. So from here, we're going to turn the head to the left. Now again, if you feel there's a lot of tightness here, what might happen is that right shoulder might pull round because that muscle doesn't stretch so well. So what I want you to do is as you turn your head to the left, itchy nose, really try and squeeze your right shoulder blade backwards and then down. Okay, so that we're making this spacious between that right ear and the right shoulder. And kind of try and draw both those shoulder blades back. Keep the spine tall. So whether you're standing, sitting in a chair or on the floor like I am, we want to maintain the length of the back so that you can feel the stretch. And you can even just relax into it and you'll notice that, oh, actually I lose some of that stretch. So we really want to try and think of this long spines. Taking another breath in, can you send the head a tiny little bit further without forcing it, and then pull those shoulder blades together. On the next breath in, gently bring that head back to the center. Or have a couple of shoulder rolls. Now we'll do a no to the right side, taking that no, chin over the right shoulder. So just pay attention. How does that feel in the left shoulder? Does it feel like your left shoulder is trying to creep round? Can you squeeze those shoulder blades into your back and then send your shoulder blades down the back, breathing in? And as you exhale, sending that chin slightly more over the shoulder, but pull those shoulder blades away and down. So remember, we are trying to create this distance. Inhale, bringing the head back to the center. Having a couple of shoulder rolls again. So now we're going to do one of the main muscles in the neck that causes so many issues for people, the levator scapula. It's attached to the back of the head, runs down either side of the neck and into the shoulder blade area. So often you might think, oh, I've got a knot there, or it's burning, or it's a pain. Chances are it's probably this levator scapula muscle, and this is the one that can cause headaches. It's also known as the headache muscle. So if you find you're starting to get a lot of headaches, just even if you just did this little stretch, it will help to just stretch off that muscle and release it. So what we need to do for the levator scapula is we're actually going to turn the head 45 degrees to the left. So when I say 45 degrees, we're not doing a no, we're not doing a front one. It's kind of halfway in between the no and front, okay? Now we're going to reverse the chin. So I want you to send your chin backwards to give yourself a double chin, and it looks beautiful. But think of the back of your head going up the wall. So what we're going to do is take the head back and then take the chin towards your collarbone. Now I want you to imagine your head is against a wall, and if you have an opportunity to do this against a wall, just to try it, give it a go, because it will help you to get this understanding of what we're actually trying to do with the head. What we don't want to do is just drop the head forward. That's called flexing the neck. What we want to do is send the head up so that the back of the skull is going further away from the shoulder blades. So the area we're actually targeting is the right side. So although we're working towards the left, it's the right side that we are feeling. And now your gaze, your eyes, are going to be either down by the knee or under the arm, somewhere around there. It depends on how far you take your neck. So that's the direction you want to be looking. Now focus on your right shoulder and pull that right shoulder backwards again, and send your shoulder blade all the way down the back as you try and get that chin a little closer to the collarbone. Think of the back of your head going more up the wall. Again, for those that want to go a little bit deeper, be mindful because this can land up with quite a stiff neck after this. It's just taking the left hand gently onto the back of the head and just encouraging that skull a little bit further away from the shoulder blades. For me personally, sometimes using my hand can be a little bit intense and then I suffer for a few days with a really stiff neck. So just be mindful. These muscles around our neck are so delicate. Delicate little flowers. So gently, 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 gently bring the head back up, coming back to the center. Just have a couple of shoulder rolls. So if you're like me, you're probably feeling there's quite a lot in that right shoulder and neck now, but I promise you it is all worth it. And now we're going to take it over towards your right side. So 45 degrees to the right. Reverse your chin back, give yourself a double chin. Think of sending the back of the head up the wall as you send your chin above the collarbone. So when I say above the collarbone, we don't want to drop the chin down to underneath the collarbone. So if you reverse and try and get the chin above the collarbone, it helps to put the back of the skull up the wall. And again, your gaze is either towards the knee or under your arm, somewhere around there. I normally say to my clients, between your nipple and your armpit, and then they all giggle because some people's nipples are not where mine are. My days are yet to come. Now again, just check, especially if you're sitting down, sometimes because we are here for a while, the back can get a little bit achy, so just be aware that you haven't started to slouch. Keep that spine nice and tall. Again, if you want to go that one step further, taking the right arm gently to the back of the head. And then as you try and just encourage the head, the skull a little bit away from the neck, think of really pulling that left shoulder blade down and away from the neck or the head. So this side doesn't feel too bad for me. Staying there for one more breath. Like I said, so out of all of these movements we've done now, this one, if you've only got like a minute, do these little exercises, these stretches, and then breathing in, gently bringing your head back to the center and just start to give your shoulders a little roll. Good. So bring your hands together and just start to rub your hands so they're nice and warm. And if you've got something like Tiger Balm or a little massage oil or like Deep Heat or any of those muscle things, you can use that as well. And then just start to give your neck a rub. So sometimes I'll just take these fingers, really dig it into next to the spine and then work outwards towards the top of the shoulders. Just give yourself a nice little massage. Even though I'm married to a masseuse, someone that does massage, I very rarely get one. I've normally got to trade a tour for a massage. Good. Then just give your, especially after those last little ones, those back of the neck ones, it can be quite nice to just give yourself a rub. Good. And then release your hands down. So just have a couple of shoulder rolls. And there we go. So there's your neck and shoulder release. Hopefully, if you can try and do these often, it will make a huge difference, not only to the pain that you suffer, but your posture as well. Because what happens is, these muscles, if they become too tight, you land up with that kind of posture, sort of like that. So if you can stretch it up, it will help you to keep your height and a nice tall spine. So there are lots of benefits to it. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.